Hi Mia, my name is Constance Gaanakgomo. I'm from News24.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank
I'm
you
very
so
excited
much.
to chat.
Right?
Of course, yes.
Thank you so much for giving us your time. I know that you're
course.
very busy. You just recently got crowned. So without wasting any time, it's been 11 days since you were crowned. How are you finding it? Like, what are you busy with? How does life look like from here in the 11 days?
So for now, it's honestly just back-to-back interviews. Lots and lots of interviews, lots of talking. Need to keep the voice going and everything. But it's been very exciting. I think the fact that I am in South Africa has really sunk in a little bit more. So it's all very exciting. I already started getting some of my goodies, already moved into the new apartment. So it's all been absolutely amazing.
And also, just to take you back, also when you were crowned,
Yes.
the executive producer for the show said they did quite a bit to make you feel included.
Yes.
But also, she kind of let us into how life was like for you when you were participating in the show. I know that inclusivity matters to you. How did you find that you were in a space where you were not meant to feel like you were the other, but you were there just like any other participant?
Yes, so when I walked into the space, there were moments I felt excluded, but it was not no one's fault. It was more about they were not yet educated on how to handle someone like me. Like, remember, it's a very big team. There are finalists, there's a production team, there are makeup artists, hair artists, but everyone really did try their best. And also as time went on and they became more educated, they became more mindful on how to be inclusive. Like with the finale, the production were absolutely amazing, like walking that extra mile to make sure there are captions on the screen for me to read the questions. And also they made sure that there was always someone watching as I do struggle a bit with my balance. It's a part of my hearing impairment, but they always make sure someone's watching just to make sure that I'm always okay. So that was also lovely.
So, but let's take it back to young Mia.
Yes.
When does young Mia realize that I'm a bit different?
Yes.
I have a hearing impairment. Or because you had a hearing impairment at such a young age, did you always know that?
I think when you have had, or if you have been deaf since you were very little, before you could even formulate thoughts, you always know that there is something about you that is different, but you don't always realize what it means until you go through school. And in primary school, I started to understand a bit more what it meant, and I started to experience what it means that sometimes I'm going to feel excluded. Sometimes not everyone's always going to know how to handle communicating with someone that is deaf with a cochlear implant like me. So yes, I was aware, but I didn't always fully understand what it meant. Even when I finished school, I didn't fully understand what it would mean for me with life after school in terms of jobs and gaining my independence. It was a bit tougher as there were a lot of suspicion and my ability was questioned in terms of, can I do this job? Can I do this? So I really have experienced that with life, but that's also why I'm here. So people can realize, listen, even if something's different about you, you're still capable. The others just need to learn. The problem's not always you.
And when all of this is happening, what's helping you stay afloat? Like, what's helping you keep your eyes on the prize? Like, when you want to finish school, you want to go to varsity, or as a teen when you're going through all of this, who's by your side? Who's holding your hand? Who's wiping away the tears if there are any?
No, for me, during my school years, honestly, my parents, they are honestly the reason I'm still alive, that I'm still here, that I am functioning. My mom always would wipe away my tears and tell me that, yeah, everything's going to be okay, that things are possible. And as you go through life and you start achieving things, you start doing well in something, you realize, oh, but I can do it. And then everything becomes a bit more of an affirmation every time you do well in something. It's not always just like one big crazy moment. Sometimes it's a build up of small moments.
Do you think that it's in that moment where when you were asked to have a mission statement as a Miss SA, you thought back to those moments where you felt like you just wanted to be seen, to be heard? You spoke about inclusivity.
Yes.
But like, what does it look like? What are the causes that you're passionate about that you want to maybe support or highlight in your reign as Miss SA?
So for me, I'm very passionate about inclusivity because I believe when you have lived your message, you know how to tell your message. And as someone that knows what it feels like to be excluded, I really want to help promote a culture of where we all can have a space. Anyone who feels different can have a space. But they also need to believe in themselves. It is something that goes both ways. The included need to be educated on how to be inclusive, and the excluded need to be empowered and to know I can do it. So for me, I really want to help bring that change So what I'm thinking about doing is to have workshops with places of business and schools where I can teach, like the CEOs, the principals, the teachers, on how to be inclusive and how they can accommodate and how they shouldn't be scared to just ask what someone sometimes needs and how to cater to individuality. And also I want to reach out to rural areas to help because the people are really excluded, in rural areas. And I really want to also do some outreach there and help give them some tools so they can also be independent and feel empowered, all of that.
I hear you, and as somebody who grew up in a township, we do have special needs schools.
Yes.
Everyone deserves to be treated like they matter, right? So
it's not unfair to ask for a similar baseline. Sometimes you might need that extra step because your leg might be a bit shorter somewhere, but it's not unfair to ask for something to help you perform from a similar baseline.
I was gonna ask, like, what do you think is missing? Because we do have the schools, special needs schools. We do have some corporates where they cater to differently abled people. They're in a wheelchair, they'll have a ramp or whatever. But like, what do you think is actually missing in the greater scheme of things?
It's, for me, information and mindfulness. Like, yes, you can build a ramp for someone, but you also need to be informed and mindful. How do you assist this person beyond that? In terms of their mental awareness, they call it about taking agency. And you have to, it's your responsibility to educate yourself on how to be helpful. It's your responsibility to educate others how to be helpful towards you. So for me, I believe that little element is what is missing, is that mindfulness and information.
But in spaces where, let's say, what you are punting or what you are advocating is not received, how do you plan on getting some people to see what you see or to see your vision that you have?
I think that is something that comes with time. Like, I will just keep telling my message and try to relay it in a way where it's the most easily understood. But also, I do understand, for example, having me as Miss South Africa might be uncomfortable for some people. But people grow when they are pushed out of their comfort zone. And sometimes with growth, there are also growing pains. Not everyone is going to accept the message at first. Not everyone is going to understand the message at first. But as time goes on, they start to snap little things. They're like, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. And then it starts to build a bigger picture in their mind.
When you were crowned, right, and you spoke about inclusivity a lot on the stage. So, of the whole event, when we were sitting down for the press briefing, there was a bit of confusion about which group, you were going to be advocating for. Because whenever we hear the keyword inclusivity, our mind instantly
It is a broad
jumps.
aspect.
I was gonna go to that, like, Mia, the inclusivity that you speak about so passionately, could you just give us an idea on different facets you'll be focusing on?
I do stand for inclusivity overall. Because inclusivity also starts by people being compassionate and having a sense of, even if I don't understand anything about this other person, I'm still going to listen to what this person has to say. I'm still going to give this person a chance and see this person is capable and worthy. You don't always have to understand everything. So in that aspect, it is broad. And I've got my whole life to work towards inclusivity. So literally, I stand for them all.
That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've cleared the confusion for a lot of us out there.
Yes.
Will this mean that you not only have these workshops that we're speaking about at rural schools, but does it also mean you're gonna spread your wings and look at other causes that are either supporting the LGBTQI or other things that right?
I've got a whole team that's going to help me with finding the correct information. A lot of people are reaching out. I don't have to have everything perfectly planned in 11 days.
It's too soon.
Yeah, but I don't think God makes mistakes
For sure.
at all. Everyone is perfect in their own way, and we need to accept everyone. You know?
Yeah. Let's now go on to family. We had the honor of speaking with your parents and your partner when you were crowned, and they were very proud. Your parents were very proud. Do they ever share with you the challenges maybe that they've encountered? Because I know they had to move from Sasolburg to Oudtshoorn. Do they ever share with you the challenges that they encountered? You know how parents hide what they really feel from us, and they'll never share. But as a child, you always observe, right? Were they overprotective? Did they not let me fall enough?
No, my parents were extremely protective. They really fought so hard for me. And of course, it was hard for me. But my mom, she has something about her that is very special. She is able to find hope and remain positive even when it's really hard. She always tells me like, Mia, I think I've got a bit more serotonin in my brain or something because I'm always very capable of dealing with hard situations. And I really think that is what helped. And of course it was challenging. I think for my brother it was also actually very challenging because a lot of the light was on me. A lot of the attention went towards me. And they tried their absolute best to also help my brother feel loved. And my brother is an amazing person. I love him so much. We're so close. But I do think sometimes we don't also always realize the impact it has on a sibling.
For sure.
Yeah.
But have you had that chat with your siblings where, it's just unsaid where?
No, I've had to chat with my brother about it.
Yeah.
He said I'm being silly, but I do feel sometimes he was a bit excluded and put aside a bit, and I love him. It's a very personal relationship. I don't want to speak about it too much because he is not the one that entered this competition.
For sure.
But I love him. I think he's amazing and he's got such a bright future.
Yeah. Do you think that then that whole experience, also just based on your schooling and everything that has happened around you, has made you very self-aware?
I do analyze a lot. I do think about things a lot, but I think it's something that was built within me actually also because of me being deaf. Because I have to follow what's happening in situations where it's just hearing people. So you really have to like think and figure out. So my brain really is like all the time. Yes. And I never want to miss something. I'm not a perfectionist because I'm very at peace with my humanity and I'm just human, but also when I have to get the job done, I will make a list. I will make sure I get everything done. Like, I'm not going to leave any stone unturned. So I am very much like that, where I like to do my things. I'm not going to, like, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And it's actually interesting. I've had a very interesting realization during my journey in the finale that sometimes that also contributes to my anxiety. It does. Because you really think about everything that you have to do, but it also really also helps you to do well.
Yeah.
Because you really also do all the things you need to do. So it's like a double-edged sword.
All right. I sometimes feel like it robs me of living in the moment, because I'm always just anticipating like what's gonna happen next. What's somebody thinking? Did I say the right thing? Whatever. But I guess it does. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
One light-hearted question or two. One, what makes you proudly South African? And then two, now that you're crowned, do you have a stylist who styles you, or do you now pick your own clothes and do you have to really, really think about like what to wear and the shoes? They must.
No, I think what makes me proudly South African is actually how diverse our country is. We are very strong because of that internationally as well. Because when we go compete internationally or showcase ourselves internationally, we don't get shell-shocked always by experiencing a different culture. Because here we have so many different cultures. And we have shown how beautifully united we also can be when even if we have differences and all of that. So it also gives me so much hope with my inclusivity project.
Yes.
Because I already feel the fact that we are so diverse means we already have the pathway laid out for us. We just need to walk it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then, yes, I've got a stylist, Banger Vessels. I'm sure you know who he is. He's absolutely amazing. He really does help me with picking outfits. He really also asks me what I want, what I like, what I need, because he also wants to make sure I stay with my personal sense of style and my personal sense of fashion. So I'm very excited. Like, it's gonna just get bigger and bigger. Remember, I've only been in South Africa for 11 days.
Were you always a girly's girl when you were growing up? Like, were you that little girl who was wearing mom's heels, wearing her dresses, and always knew that pageantry was going to be something that you do?
Interesting. I've had many phases. So when I was like at a 3-year-old stage, I just wanted to wear fairy dresses, my mom's heels. Then I was like that. And then when I got in primary school, I was such a tomboy. I wanted to be Spider-Man. I wore my brother's Spider-Man suit all the time. I played with only boys, like because that's the only family I had. Like my brother and my cousin, everyone was boys. So I was like a tomboy. And then I started to become more into I don't want to phrase it like that, but more womanly things.
Yeah.
Because
no girly girls.
Your girly girl things.
Yes.
Because I also started to embrace my identity a bit more and realize what my identity is, instead of it being so shaped by my environment.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Constance. It was lovely.
Thank you. It was lovely meeting you.